Google Forms can be used to create online surveys and quizzes that you can send to all of your students, and you can get instant results as they come in. But did you know that Google Forms can also be used to mark the results? So the first thing we need to do is get into Google Forms, and if I click on the 9 dots over here, which is where you would expect all of the Google apps to be, you will notice that it's not actually here. So what we need to do is we need to click once on the Drive, and once we are in Drive, what we're going to do is we're going to click once on New. I'm going to go down to More, and now I'm going to click on Google Forms. This creates a new blank form, and at the top I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to call this Flowcharts. You can have a little form description if you'd like. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Untitled Question, and now you can see we have a whole range of different options. So the first thing is I'm going to say that I would like the pupils to be able to write their name and surname, and I'm going to change this from a multiple choice question, and you can see I've got short answers, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, and I'm going to click on short answer. And this now gives me a short answer so that they can type in their name and surname. You can also say over here, would you like it to be required? This now means that the students have to answer this question before they can submit everything in the end. The next question I would like to ask is, which class are they in? I could click on the plus over here to add another question, but the question I need to ask is exactly the same as this. It's also a short answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this button over here which says duplicate, and now all I have to do is go and edit this, and that's all I need to do. I'm now going to continue with my next question, and I'm going to click on the plus, and I'm now going to type in, what does this shape do? I'm going to need an image with this, so I'm going to click on insert an image, and from my computer I'm going to upload an image, and it is under pictures, and there's the shape or the image that I'm looking for. Now what I'd like to do is, it is a multiple choice question, but I now need to add different options. We've now typed in all different answers that could be possibly correct, but only one of these is actually correct. We can decide whether we'd like to make this a required question, which basically means that the student has to answer this before they can actually submit it right at the end. At the moment this is a survey, and we would like to change this into a self-marking quiz. We need to click once on Settings and click on Quizzes at the top. We need to enable Make this a quiz. There are other options we have here as well. For example, would you like the marks to be given to the students straight after they've submitted or later on? And can the students see which questions they've missed or the correct answers or what the point values are? And you can decide by selecting those on or off. Now that we've actually made this into a quiz, we can now change which is the correct answer. We're going to click once on Answer, and we now need to look and see which one is the correct answer. The correct answer is, this represents a decision, which we can now select. At the moment we know that that's right because there's a tick next to it, and you can now allocate how many points you would like the student to get if they have answered that correctly. I'm going to go back to Edit Questions, and now we can see here's our question with the possible answers and the one that is correct. There are some very clever little add-ons onto this. So for example, once you have typed all of your different questions that you have, you can also create different sections. And what you can do is you can add a section which becomes a little bit separate of your actual questions altogether. And now you can see I have section 2 of 2. So I'm just going to call this one Amber. And what I can then do is, on this first question, let's for argument's sake that they typed in the correct answer. We can then click on the 3 dots and we can say, based on whatever they answered, they can go to a different section. So you could actually have this and make each thing individual for each different student. The true beauty behind this is the analytics. Once your students have answered all of the questions, if I click on responses, right away it will give me a little bit of a preview of what they've actually done. So there's the average, the median, and the range. So based on this, I think perhaps that this might have been slightly too easy for them. And if I go further down, here's their email addresses and the different scores that they have achieved. And once I'm happy with that, I can click on release scores, which will basically email them all their different scores. If I scroll down a little bit further, you will now notice that there's all the different people's names, the class that they're in, and now it gives me each question with the different answers that the entire class has done. So for this one, only one person got this incorrect, and I can then go through every single one of my questions, which basically will tell me whether I need to cover something in a topic again. I also have the option of clicking and seeing all responses in Google Sheets. And here is the time that they did it, the email address, the scores, as well as what they answered for each different question. Of course, from here, I could do whatever I needed to. I could reorder this, I could export this, and I could put this and copy and paste this directly into my Markbook if I really wanted to as well. Of course, there are numerous templates that we could use as well. For example, I really like the exit ticket. Once we've opened the exit ticket form, all we have to do is go and edit one or two different things, and then we can send it to our class.